So we have a geometric progression with the first term of 1. So here it's given that every term is a times, so every even term, that's a times the previous term, and every odd term is c times the previous term. So we need to find the sum of the first two n terms of the series. So let's begin. So let there be 2n number of terms in the geometric progression such that a plus a1, so let's call it a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4 will take a couple of terms at the beginning, and this goes all the way up to the second last term. Let's take a2n minus 1, and we have a2n. So this is the series. So this is a geometric series. So here it's given that the first term is 1. So that's given to us. Then we'll call it the sum as the second term, which is the even term, so a2, so that's equals to a times the previous term, so a times a1, so that's simply a. Then we have a3. Our a3 is an odd term, so the odd term is c times the previous term. So the previous term to 8 is a2, so we have c times a. Then we're coming to a4, which is an even term, so this will be a times a3, so this will become a squared times c. Then we have the fifth term, which is an odd term, so this will be equals to, the odd term is c times the previous term, so we have c squared times a squared, and so on. Now our sum will become as equals to 1, so that's the first term, plus a2, so that's a. Then we have a3, that's c times a, plus the fourth term will be c times a squared. Then we have the fifth term, so that's c squared times a squared. Let's consider the sixth term as well. So our sixth term will be, which is an even term, so that means a times the previous term, so we're going to get c squared a cube. So this will be plus c squared times a cube, and so on. Now we have 1 plus a, so we'll combining the first term and the second term. Then we'll combine the third term and the fourth term by taking c times a as the common factor, so we have 1 plus a multiplied to it. Then we'll combine the fifth and the sixth term by taking c squared times a squared as the common factor, and this will get multiplied to 1 plus a. So we can easily see a trend has been followed here. So that means if we take 1 plus a as a common factor from each of the terms in the entire series, then 1 plus a will now get multiplied to, so from the first term we're left with 1, from the second term we're left with c times a, from the third term we have c squared a squared, and this means our next term will be c cubed a cubed, and so on. Now this is clearly a geometric series. So here the first term, that's 1, and the common ratio is c times a. So we can use the sum formula, which is given by a times r raised to the power of n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. So that means our sum is going to be equals to 1 plus a multiplied to the first term 1 times c raised to the power of n times a raised to the power of n minus 1 divided by c minus ca r minus 1, so ca minus 1. So let's write everything properly. So that means our sum is equals to 1 plus a multiplied to c raised to the power of n times a raised to the power of n minus 1 divided by ca minus 1.